Happy Historic Monday, everybody. I am Michelle with Fun in Key West, and today we are going to be talking about some of those lovely creatures that you see wandering through Key West. Let me set the stage. If you've ever walked the streets of Key West, you have definitely seen, you've actually heard them before you've seen them, right? They're strutting, they're crowing. These feathered celebrities of the island are the famous roosters. Today we're diving into their history and their cultural significance and why they are Key West's unofficial mascot, although I would argue they are probably the official mascot of Key West. So a typical experience for a tourist in Key West is you're sitting at Blue Heaven, you're having your lobster benedict, you're having your key lime pie with a mile-high meringue, and a rooster struts under your table. Right? It's just one of those normal, typical afternoons that you spend in Key West. Or you're going down the street and you see people taking selfies with the roosters, or better yet, traffic comes to a complete stop on Duval when a rooster starts to walk by or walk across the street, because they act like they own the place, right? So, fun fact, roosters, hens, and chicks, they roam everywhere in Key West. They are, I'm telling you, everywhere. They are in yards, they are in restaurants, they are on rooftops, they are walking down the street, they are everywhere. So, I did not know this, but chickens roost in trees at night, hence the term rooster. I did not know that. I thought that was pretty cool. And of course, rooster is American English and cock comes from Old English. So a lot of the history that you're going to have goes around a lot of when they came and their significance. So let's look at the origins of these Key West chickens. First off, chickens are practical. They're food, they're eggs, and that was long before there was grocery stores and reliable ways to get food into the island. So when the island was first settled, chickens made sense. When food became more accessible via trade, chickens were sometimes released, or they just simply escaped because they were no longer needed as a source of food. In the 1860s, during the Cuban 10 Years' War, Cuban immigrants brought the cockfighting to Key West. And then the roosters were bred for this sport. And they were bred for aggressiveness and stamina so that they could last longer in the ring. And I have to tell you that cockfighting thrived until the 1970s, until it was outlawed. So when it ended, a lot of these prize fighting roosters and cocks were just released and let go because they didn't serve any further purpose for the owners. Well, you pair these guys with the abandoned hens and voila, you have Key West's wild chicken population, and it simply exploded. So these little guys went from fighters, and now they are the quirky feathered locals. And they still carry that fighting spirit as you watch them walk through like they simply own the island. They're territorial, they're protective, and a little sassy, I would have to say. In some cultures, roosters symbolize luck, hope, new day, and even wealth. And in Key West, they are the unofficial mascot, although I still say they are the official mascot. There's even a wait list in sanctuaries across the U.S. for these Key West roosters because of how they have this stamina and this personality and all of these genetic traits that they have. When the population does get to be too much, they are relocated to other sanctuaries across the U.S. And like I said, there is a wait list because everybody wants to have at least one of these in their sanctuary. These roosters, man, they are great for tourism. They are the walking postcard of Key West, right? You walk around Key West and you're taking pictures of them. You're watching them strut their stuff. They have beautiful feathers and they just have personality as big as the island, right? You can get souvenirs that embody all of the roosters and that spirit. You can get paintings with them, sculptures that all feature roosters. Of course, you have the famous breakfast at Blue Heaven, where you can have breakfast or lunch or dinner with all of those wandering roosters and chickens. Now, there are some controversies and there are some laws around these. Are chickens a problem or are they a charm? Honestly, locals are split on them. Some of them love them. Others complain because they're constantly making noise and they leave their droppings everywhere. So some people love them, some people don't. And I think you're going to find that with the tourists. Some people love them, some people don't. But they are protected under the Key West chicken law. It's illegal to harm them or to kill them. And as of 2021, it's also illegal to feed them. You can actually get fined if you are caught feeding them. So if you are visiting Key West, do not feed the chickens, the hens, or the roosters. So how many chickens are there in Key West? Hard to count, but they're everywhere, right? And where do they lay eggs? Simple answer, everywhere. They're in gardens, rooftops, hidden corners. Just be cautious of where you're looking. I think, though, that the roosters symbolize something far beyond just abandoned pets and abandoned forms of food. They are the spirit and the resilience of Key West and the Florida Keys. They are the spirit of the people of the Florida Keys, I think. They are independent, they are resilient, they are fiery, they are spunky, they are sassy, and they walk and do things at their own beat and live life on their own terms. And they're protected in doing that. And I think that is something that is important for all people to understand, that your way of life is absolutely protected no matter what. And I think those roosters embody that spirit and just make Key West that much more lovable to those who visit. Again, you're going to find roosters everywhere in art. They're in local paintings, they're in sculptures, they're everywhere that you go. And you will fall in love with these roosters, I'm telling you. And you will have a collection of rooster paintings and sculptures and everything rooster when you start to really fall in love with them, and you're going to gather all those souvenirs. So have you ever had a funny rooster experience? Did one crash in on you for your breakfast and say hello? Let me know. Put it down in the comments if you're watching live. If you're listening to us on the podcast, send me a DM. If you're watching us on YouTube, put it in the comments. Let me know. What is a funny rooster story that you've had? So the roosters went from food to fighters to free-range celebrities, and I don't think the island would be the same without them. Key West wouldn't be Key West without sunsets, conch fritters, and yes, those loud strutting roosters. Love them or not, those roosters are here to stay. I invite you to learn more about all of the historic things that are in Key West that can be found very easily through those historic markers. It's a free self-guided tour, and you can learn more about all those markers over at FunInKeyWest.com. And while you're there, sign up for our book club. We, every month, have a book that has some sort of connection to Key West and the Florida Keys. And I think you would be surprised at how much fun we are having, even though it's virtual. It's amazing. We are having guest speakers come on, and the only way you get to know who they are and to be part of that is to be part of our book club. And it's free. So just sign up. FunInKeyWest.com. All your information's over there. Go into a deep dive, fall down the rabbit hole. You will love it. So again, I am Michelle with Fun in Key West. Let me know one of your fun rooster stories. I love to hear rooster stories. And with that, you guys have a great day. So, I have people watching live. Let me give you their comments. Tim says they can be vicious. Yes, they can. But I wouldn't say they're vicious. Tim, I would say that they're sassy and spunky. Oh, Brian says he saw someone feeding chicken to a chicken one day on Duval. Yeah, I find that disturbing as well. But as of 2021, it's illegal to feed those roosters in the chickens. So hopefully we won't see any more of that. I love hearing your stories. I love hearing from you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. And you guys have a great Monday, and we'll talk to you later.